presentation now in your screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So good morning once again. This is our third lecture, and this is a lecture or this presentation is titled Engineering Programs in CSU, the History, Milestones, and Achievements. Right. So the last time, I already informed you that this lecture will be, our lecture this week will be all about history and how programs in CSU, particularly sorry, engineering programs in CSU were offered no way back 10 years ago, 15 years ago, no. So then you will know, okay, we are part of the history in the earlier in the recent ng stages, no. In the recent time now, we are not on the pioneering batch, but at least we are part of the 10th or 15th batch of ABE and CSU or whatever. No, so let's learn so that we will know, no, and then somehow we will impart or we will share to the history of the engineering programs in Caraga State University. So good morning once again. So the objectives of this lecture is to discuss the different engineering disciplines or programs in Caraga State University offered in Caraga State University main campus, to review the history, goals, and objectives of the engineering programs in CSU main campus, and to tackle deeply this ABE program. So we will deeply discuss this ABE program because we are in the program. The program objectives, field of specializations, milestones, and achievements. So you are expected that after this lecture, you will know the different engineering programs in Caraga State University, and then recall the history, goals, and objectives of the engineering degree programs, and identify the various field of specializations of the ABE program. And then you will familiarize what are the highlights of the programs since it was offered 10 years ago or 15 years back. All right? Okay. By definition, so an engineering, as we have mentioned in the previous lecture last week, uh, it uses scientific, technological, and mathematical knowledge to solve practical problems. That is why, okay, magpa-solve ko kang engineer because kabalo na siya sa math. No? Not all you know. And then maybe you know, but you will forget or you are not familiar with the process. But when you know the process, bisan pag taod-taod na to siya, it already took 5 or 10 years. Ma-recall lang gihapon nimo, no? That's why, based on the definition, you can really see as first year student taking the engineering program in the first semester, mahimo na dahil nimong imagination nga. So for 4 years magsige lagi kog atubang ani og mathematical, scientific or sciences, and natural sciences, no. When I say natural sciences, chemistry, physics, biology, or environmental science or whatever, no, nga imong ma-enroll sa imong subject. And then you will also like ang imong outlook mo dayon ka nga kinahanglan gid ay nga bright ta sa math ani, no, bright ta sa science, chemistry, physics kay para makasugakod dag engineering, no. So there are a lot of people I know that not good at not good at mathematics, not good at chemistry. Even me myself, when I took the ABE during my baccalaureate, no, so murag dili man ko bright kaayo sa math, no, sakto ra man dili. When we say bright, I don't know what's the really definition of bright, because there are some students dili mo sulod sa klase pero maka-perfect sa exam, no, makapasar sa exam. There are also students nga magsige rag sulod sa klase, no, perfect ang attendance pero pag exam bagsak pod, no. So I don't know what's really the kanang exact meaning of bright or kanang smart nga students, depende. So it's not really the requirement for me nga bright ka nga para mag-engineering ka, because regardless of the program that you are taking, it's either engineering, agriculture, education, you will really need to undergo the training. So kung mayroon kag training, mao lagi na, you will take the courses, pag mo pasar, padayon, and so on and so on. And then you graduate. So training, ang tanan is just training. So kung maayo na ka intellectually, then advantage ka sa training. But maayo ka academics but emotional dili ka. So that's some another story na pud nga okay, bright siya, undang lang kay di siya makakuan, wala siya socialization and so on. So there's a lot of factors to consider when we pursue engineering programs. All right. But according to the ABET, or the Accreditation Board for Engineering and Technology, they defined engineering as the profession in which a knowledge of the mathematical and natural science is gained by study. Okay, from the term gained by study, no? So application of mathematics, natural sciences, no? Scientific courses gained by study. So no one becomes an engineer and then engineer lang siya kay bright siya. Dili pwede, no? Kana siya kay bright man daig math bisag wala gid pinag-aralan, engineer na to na siya, dili pwede, because everything that you want to apply in your profession must be gained based on your studies, no? Must be trained. I-train ka, tudluan ka, no? Mo nang ayaw mo kahadlok nga sayop mo sa inyong tubag, sa inyong professor, sa inyong instructor. Kay it's part of the training. Eh, syempre, the instructor, no, kay niagi naman siya training. Ang kamo wala pa, no? So, package na lang na kung nakatubag kag tama and then tumpak, meaning nag-study ka or na kay backup nga knowledge daan, no? Na kay knowledge background knowledge ana. So, and then it's wrong kung si professor pod mangantsaw sa student kay wala katubag, kay dili sila saktong pangutok. So it's wrong because the professor already gained the knowledge, no? Sama sa diri sa atong definition. Kamo mag-gain pa lang mog knowledge through studies or through training, no? So experience, no? Experience. Kanang anong pagka first year ninyo to fourth year sa engineering, it's part of the kanang 1 year to 4 years training na siya, no? Lahi pagud tong training after graduation. So it's job experience na pud nga training or experience. And practice is applied with judgment to develop ways to utilize economically the materials and forces of nature for the benefit of mankind. Okay. I have mentioned last week that do not consider yourself as an engineer if nobody benefits your knowledge. For example, engineer lang ka, engineer kay gusto lang kag sweldo nga dako, but you are not helping others the way nga, not necessarily financial, no? For example, when we say engineer, okay, for example, let's have a basic example. Si engineer nagtrabaho sa isa ka construction company, no? So the minds of that engineer na nag-design siya isa ka tulay, isa ka building, and then a lot of people benefit from that, no? After mahuman ang project, syempre, ang utok ni engineer na siya ang nag-design na-apply na, no, based sa design, and then after na-construct ang structure, daghan mga sakit na, daghan mga tao nga makaagi na nag-struggle sa una. Meaning, he is really an engineer because based on his idea, based on his intellectual nga capacity nga nag-design siya ging ato, and then daghay naka-benefit, then he is really a good engineer. Okay? So mag-engineer lang ka, unya palaboy-laboy lang ka, pasikat lang ka nga naka-lisensya, so you are not practicing your profession well, no? So wala kay pulos sa community, no? That's why when we are training you here to become professional by the future, in the future, 4 to 10 years from now, and then a lot of people will benefit from you, from your mind, from your output, no? From your projects, no? From your works and everything. All right? So si engineer dili na pwede nga engineer lang unya you are okay na dili na pwede. You are always we will always based on our gained knowledge, no, nga kanang based sa among nastudihan dili na pwede. We will consider this kay kani palpak, kani sayop, so kani ang atong pilion. Right? So that's why moingon nga utilize and then economically, no, dili pwede nga saglit man lang kay dako budget ang project dito na lang ka sa dako, no? You check if it's economical or not. So that's how critical or crucial the profession, the engineering profession would be. Okay, so it's clearly defined there, no? So during exams, kung pangutanon mo, kung say correct nga definition sa engineer, niya matwist na ang meaning, at least you know that an engineer is practicing a profession based on the knowledge he gained with the relevant experience and practice, and then his works or his outputs can benefit humankind or mankind. Okay, so that's the real definition of engineering or an engineer. So the last time ato na po ning mention engineer niya scientist, so I will no longer kanang discuss this all about because pare-pareho ra ni sa kadtong miagi. And then I will focus on the technologist, technician, and artisan. No, so umingot ang technologists, focus on direct application of established engineering principles and processes. Kung si engineer mag-design, mag-develop, so si technologist mao na to yung example maintenance. No, mao to sila si mga technician o technologist. no, kung si engineer mag-develop og something, mag-design og something, ang mga technologies mo to sila ang mag-maintain, no, pag-operate, no, so ingato ang ilang role. That's how it is being differentiated, no? So si technician, that's why some board examinations now, for example, matake kag board exam sa electronics engineering. So that the first 2 days, day 1 and day 2, the exams cover board exams for electronics engineers. And then the other day, the third day, ang mga questions ana for technician, electronics technician. So kung makapasar ka sa pagka-engineer, engineer na ka, electronics engineer, and then makapasar pagid ka sa technician, electronics technician pagid ka. So you obtain 2 licenses. No, ingana na ang style karon. And other thing, electrician, electrical engineer and then electrician. Uh, electrical technician or electrician. So mo example na sila first 2 days for electrical engineer and then the other day is for technician. So doble ang imong license. And then the ABE board now is currently proposing, himo na pong 3 days ang board exam sa ABE. The third day will be for the agricultural technician. But ni conflict pa na karon kay naamang goy Bachelor of Agricultural Technology. And then once they graduate, they will automatically be considered as technician. However, wala man sila licensure exam, so dili sila mahimo mga eligible. So it's still on the track of the ABE board para maka-produce og mga agricultural technician. So that's how it differs. Okay, artisans, we already defined that. All right, let's continue with the history of engineering in CSU. So by virtue of the Board of Trustees Resolution number 96, 8/1704, series of 1996. So 96, somehow this is 1996, August 17, resolution number 4, somehow, no, I'm not sure. And created the School of Engineering and Computer Science, which offered degree and non-degree engineering and computer science programs as follows. So sa una yun, pagtukod yun sa engineering sa CSU, ang pinakauna yun nga courses kani 3-year associate in geology, metallurgical engineering, geodetic engineering, mining engineering, and 2-year associate in computer science, no? So ang pinakauna mo gini metallurgical, geodetic. Okay? And then in the academic 1996 to 1997, courses were offered in the school year as the first. Pinakauna gid nga school year sa una 1996. So how many years na? 1996, 2006, 2016. So naa na sa mga 25, no? By 2021 naman karon. So the engineering college in CSU was opened on at least 25 years from ago, no? So 1996 to 1997, 118 students. Inunta lang 118 divide na sa kana nga mga programs. By 1997 to 1998, the Bachelor of Science in Computer Science was offered the following year and enrolled 92 students, no? So pagka next year, Bachelor of Science in Computer Science na 92 ka students. In the same year or school year, no, associate in geology, no, associate pa, kung ingon kag associate, tag 2 years ra na, kung 4 years ang program. Kung 5 years ang program, 3 years ra pod ang associate. Associate in mining engineering and associate in metallurgical engineering shifted to the geodetic engineering program because they foresaw the great demand for geodetic engineers in the region. No? So, atong mga students daw di ay sa associate in geology, associate in metallurgical engineering, associate in mining engineering. Di pabalhin nila sa geodetic engineering sa 1997 to 1998. Due to the rationalization, when we say rationalization of curricular programs, kanang murag i-strategize ang programs asa gyud ang mas demand, asa ang mas patok, asa mas dagon ang faculty nga makatudlo ng mga licensed and eligible. So that's rationalization. Murag gitarong og plaster ba, no? Asa gyud ta makapabor, asa ta mas dali nga maka-achieve, no? So pagka 2000, di-phase out nila ang associate programs. Wala na tong mga associate in mining, associate in metallurgical, associate in geology. Kay grabe kababa ang enrollment. Kay syempre, dili ka matawag nga engineering graduate. Kay associate raman, 2 years raman imong na-earn, 3 years. So, dito na lang ta sa 5 years. No? So, due to low enrollment, then nag-open po sila og diploma in computer science, but I was replaced with a 2-year diploma in computer technology. So kato ilang computer software applications nga gi-offer, gipulihan na lang nila og computer technology way back 2000 na. So pagka 2000 po, 2001 ang CJS now College of Engineering and Information Technology. So mo na niya akong naabdan sa unang nga panahon, no? College of Engineering and Information Technology. And then nag-offer na sila additional nga BSIT or Bachelor of Science in Information Technology program 2000, no? So from unsa to? From School of Engineering and Computer Science, nahimo na siyang College of Engineering and Information Technology. So, in the same school year, the college was also given recognition by the Commission of Higher Education as the Regional Nodal Center for Information Technology. When we say nodal center, murag sentro siya, no? Sentro siya when it comes to academic achievements and students achievement, no? Naa diha murag promising gid na diha nga program or nga eskwelahan paabot sa information technology, meaning ang mga graduates ana quality, okay? So with the span of 2000 to 2005, no, in the span of 5 years, nakita ni Senator Tessie Aquino Oreta, no, ang potential sa CEIT, because he was the chairperson of the Senate Committee on Higher Education that time, no, and then naghatag siya og 1 million pesos for the upgrading of the information technology facilities of the college. So that time, 2005, so naanay mga computer nga medyo high-end that time, ito mga dagko pa bitaw, nga mga dagko pa kay likod nga mga computers. If you could still remember nga kanang TV now, mani ang likod dagko kaayo. So ingana pa to sa una, no, even nga among naabtan. Karon kay monitor style naman lang, nipis na kayo mga laptop. Okay? So and then on that span po 2000 to 2005, then the National Computer Center tapped the College of Engineering and Information Technology sa Normisist pa man to sa una, no, di pa CSU, as the region's lead institution for information technology in the region. Meaning, national government, even national nga mga agencies, kuha na pod as consultant or training center ang information technology department sa una sa CSU or Normisist, no? So and then nag-offer na lang dayon sila og Bachelor of Science in Mathematics major in Computer Mathematics, and then Bachelor of Science in Information Telecommunication Engineering, and Bachelor of Science in Geodetic Engineering. Pero since there were like mga contradictions or mga conflicts nga why the engineering college offered the Bachelor of Science in Mathematics, nga naaman tay mga math diri napud tay College of Arts and Sciences na tay mga math. So there were time nga gitanggal na po nila si computer mathematics, no, kay naman tay taga math gyud, no, and then mura conflict of interest mga ingana nga mga issues. So ang ilan ang gipadayon is si geodetic engineering, si information technology na lang ang ilang gipadayon og si computer science. And then nag-offer na po sila another kanang information and telecommunication engineering. Karon ang tawag ana is electronics engineering. Pero per BOT resolution number 5605 series of 2006, nakaingon sila nga ay dili diay pwede nga information and telecommunication engineering ang atong i-offer because wala siya licensure exam. In fact, ang problem po daan na is aside sa wala licensure exam, walay faculty nga mga eligible or mga license because most faculties are graduate of electronics and communications, dili information and telecommunication engineering. So ilan na pong gitanggal. No, ingana ka gubot or ingana ka trial and error gyud ang mga program sa una sa CEIT then, no? It was then CEIT, now is CGS naman, no. So gitanggal na po nila si BSITE, gipulihan na po nila og Bachelor of Science in Electronics and Communication Engineering, right? By 2006, no, ang mga graduates sa BSITE kay di man gid siya, wa man siya board exam, no. Pag graduate nimo dili pod ka matawag nga engineer kay dili wala may licensure exam, no. And then dili man siya ingon nga developmental siya nga profession, unlike industrial nga no need na sila og board exam, and then computer di no need na sila board exam kay it's developmental and then it varies from time to time, then diverse ang ilang mga application. So gitanggal nila and then ang ilang mga graduate ato gi-retain nila as electronics and communication engineering. So by 2008 nag-offer na dayon og 5. So nag-start yun sa 2008 to 2017. Katong mga nag-start nag-associate sa 2005, pagka 2008 graduate naman to sila no kay 3 years. Di pa balhin na lang din nila sa gibahin-bahin nila sa Bachelor of Science in Agricultural Engineering pa na sayop na. Bachelor of Science in Electronics and Communications Engineering, Bachelor of Science in Geodetic Engineering, and Bachelor of Science in Mining Engineering. So in 2005, 2008, Pagka 2008 na nila gi-offer ang 5-year course kay kadtong mga nag-enroll sa 2005, ni graduate og 2008 kay 3 years naman ang diploma sa engineering no or associate in engineering. Gipambahin-bahin na lang dayon into 5-year program nga gi-offer. Meaning nanatay upat ka lima ka engineering programs ag-eng, electronics, geodetic and mining no. So I know upat not 5 pero 5 years ang program na timingan until na siya nag-start 2008 mo to nga pagka 2010 mga pioneering ang nag-graduate agricultural engineering pioneering ang mga nag-graduate I guess upat lang out of daghan nga nag-enroll upat lang ang pioneering nga nag-graduate sa ag-eng sa geodetic po mga less than 10 aning ana but they were really the first batch of engineering 5-year engineering program sa CSU and then they really succeed no they really achieve a lot in the board exams ang uban nag-top no ang ag-eng that time is 100% out of 4 nga nag-take upat po nang napasar sa board exam and then if you could see grabe wala pa yung mga libro wala pa yung mga instructor nga mga top caliber nga instructor nga mga highly qualified no competitive or mga facilities wala pa but they really succeed no they really achieve and then the some are really top the board like sa geodetic no that time were top dayon sila so that's the history no nga kanang despite of the kanang lack of kanang resources no wala sila mga facilities wala sila mga computer even wala sila mga libro but ni abot sa point nga ni succeed gid ang mga trial and error sa college no back then CIT so that's why we really need to tell you the story kay ngano man you will really put that in your mind that before gani no nakaya gani nila nga wala sila mga instructor sa ag-eng sa una isa lang gyud ang ag-eng ang uban mga civil na dayon mga mining na dayon and then isa lang gyud ka ag-eng nga license ang uban metallurgical ang uban chemical and then now how many ag-eng now in the department 10 11 12 no so you are lucky in your generation nga ingana nang inyong naabtan no so pagka 2018 padayon ta that's the time nga na-pass ang law K to 12, di ba? 2018, no? So kami part pa mi sa ag-eng among time sa una 2011. So pagka 2018, mo na din nga time ang first batch sa K-12. By that time, ang nang-graduate sa high school, if you could remember, dili pa mo padayon og college. They need to pursue senior high, no? So mahimo pa silang grade 11 and then grade 12. That's why the first batch of the K-12 engineering programs na 4 years na lang is 2020. No so 2000 batch 2020 mao na to sila ang mga 2018 18 19 19 20 20 21 right ang first batch is 2018 no so sila tong mga 4 years na lang ang engineering alright so pagka 2018 nagsugod na po dayon nga gitawag ang agricultural and biosystems engineering no kay ang law ni pa sa 2016 but wala pa may enrollee nga agricultural and biosystem engineering students sa 2017 and 2016 kay nag-senior high pa man ang mga graduate ato sa high school no so 2018 na ang first batch gyud sa 4 years nga ang tawag is agricultural and biosystems engineering no so mao na siya karon nga ipadayon nato so in total no kulangan ni gisa there are 5 engineering disciplines in CSU because this presentation was last year. I-add na to diha si civil engineering, no? And then there was a story about electronics engineering anong natanggal si communications because communications engineering is a separate story, separate profession, and electronics is separate. So gitanggal pud sa electronics and communication engineering ang communications engineering. So now, they are really called Bachelor of Science in Electronics Engineering and not Electronics and Communications. Alright? But kita gidugangan pud ta og biosystems, no? Gitanggalan si electronics og communications, kita gidugangan og biosystems. So kita na lang ang 2 words nga engineering nga nabilin. Right? So 5 na. So I forgot to add civil engineering. So just this year, the civil engineering is added to the College of Engineering and Geosciences. So the College of Engineering and Geosciences was approved in 2018, but it was started in 2019 to be called as College of Engineering and Geosciences. Meaning, tulo ang niagi nga ngalan, no? School of Engineering and Computer Science, College of Engineering and Information Technology, and then College of Engineering and Geosciences. So ang inyong naabtan, College of Engineering and Geosciences. So a total of 5 4-year engineering disciplines in CSU main campus. Ikalima ang geology, ay ikaunom ang geology. So ang engineering, 5, ikaunom ang geology. So I know that you already familiarized this, you have memorized even. Some I already mentioned, no? So nga mag-recite ani. So I don't need to uh, kanang discuss about this. I already discussed that. So even the mission and the vision of the college as well as the program educational objectives. So some already mentioned nga, sir, I asked what are the program educational objectives of ABE and then give me at least 2. So some already answered nga na, sir, graduate of higher professional education, effective engineers, responsive in addressing the needs and issues in the community, proficient in the preparation of plans, design, evaluation, and competent in demonstrating advanced research. All right. So when we say program description, that's the meaning, no, of the program. That's how the program will be unique as compared to the others. So ang ABA, this is designed to produce graduates who possess knowledge, skills, and attitudes. So, balik na po din tulong akong gi-highlight sa inyo, no? So, knowledge, skills, and attitudes in the application of engineering science and designs to the processes and systems involved in the sustainable production, post-production, and processing of safe food, feed, fiber, and timber, no? And other biological materials, the efficient utilization, conservation, and management of natural and renewable resources, and development of climate change mitigation measures. That's why, may gid nang uban nga grabe naman ang EBE, no? Gilaras naman nila tanan ng ilang field, no? Because broad kaayo ang EBE, daghan kaayo tungod sa ka-broad sa EBE, appeal environmental, sanitary, no, civil, mechanical, chemical, electrical, no? Tanan pa nga klase sa engineering na atay mga basic concepts, no? So kita lang ang engineering nga halos gitakol pod ang ubang klase nga engineering. Bisan pag basic lang na, but at least we have tackled, no? So that's why we are considered as the jack of all trades, no? So anyway, the 2018 curriculum already shifted to specializations, which we will discuss later. Kung asa ka musulod, kung saan specialization imong gusto. Kaya kung dili man pwede nga tanan imo, broad man ka, no? Unless gusto ka mag-specialize sa kanira gyud nga kuan, okay? So the graduates of ABE are expected to understand and apply engineering science in the designs to identify, analyze, and create solutions for problems concerning land development, irrigation and drainage, AB production machinery, new and renewable energy, AB buildings and structures, post-harvest and processing technologies, climate change and natural resources, environmental and waste management. So kaning mga fields, kaning mga areas, these are the broad areas nga masudlan nato, no? We are expected to learn all of these na mga areas and then we can apply. Not necessarily nga sir, ang ako manggong trabaho sir is more on sa mga irrigation o drainage sir. So di na kaayo ko ganahan anang processing sir kanang mga machinery. Dili po nga na, no? Because as part of the training for your 4-year degree program, na kabalo man ka, no? So when someone asks you or even your boss or your parents or your anyone who knows of you and then mangutana tani kuan kay kabalo siya ana na siya background and then you answer based on your capacities, no? Di man gid mo mapugos no nga mao ra gid imong nahibalaan pero because you are capable of that, you learn that based on your training sa 4-year nimo nga pag-eskwela, and then somehow you can give inputs, no? Dili kay saglit kay ang imong trabaho is more on the irrigation na nga mga projects, di na lang dayon gid ka mo sulod because it's already part of your training. I-discuss na sa ato sa una pa sa atong pag-eskwela. Alright? But you are not specializing, but you already know the core or kanang gitawag nato nga cognate, no? Cognate ang tawag ana nga kanang na-learn gihapon nimo, cognate nimo nga mga subjects. And then mo to, kung di gid gaganahan, mag-specialize na lang dayon ka, no? But basically, pag mantrabaho mo labi nag LGU or mag-practice mo, magnegosyo mo, no? Magmaligya mo mga machineries, no? Mahimo kang test engineer or whatever. General ang imong profession ana, no? General kana bang murag kung sa doctor pa, general medicine ka, no? Murag wala kay nag-specialize, no? In general medicine ang imong tirada. But bang specialize ka, focus lang gid ka diha, no? So for example sa doctor na ay nagyoy doctor para sa mga sakit sa kidney, na mga sakit sa heart, nagyoy doctor para sa mga bata, doctor para sa mga operation, surgeon, anesthesiologist. Sa ABE also like that, no? So di man gid ko ganahan sir, napugos ra man gid ko anang mga water sir kay lisod man kay nga subject. Diri na lang ko sa kuan sir, structures ganahan ko diri kay nangandoy man ko mag civil engineering, wa lang gid na dayon. No, so mag-focus na lang ko sa structures part sa agricultural. So it's up to you, depends on you, and then you focus on that, you specialize. So that's why naatay mga specialization, but the really main goal of these specializations established ni sa Board of Agricultural and Biosystems Engineering in cooperation with the Philippine Association of Agriculture and Biosystems Engineers. Tungod kay broad magugta, no? Maglibog ka ba asa nga trabaho imong fokusan. So kung particularly sa academe sa amoa nga mga professors, instructors, need gid mi mag-specialize asa, no? Dili pwede nga magtabok-tabok ni. That's why kung part ang subject is more on structures, so si Sir Jakra, kung mga process engineering, mga properties, si Sir Philip Ra, because that's how we consider specialization. Dili pwede nga magtabok-tabok ko nga magtudlo ko og kanang process, magtudlo ko og structure, magtudlo ko og land, magtudlo ko og machine. Dili pwede unless there is a scarcity or kanang kakulangon sa faculty, no? That's why when you teach in the academe, dili pwede nga moingon ka nga ay di man ko kabaluan na, di ko mo tudloan na kay wa ko kabalo. No, because you're a licensed ABE, meaning you already learned a lot, no? You already learned every course or every cognate course nga imong na-learn during your college or 4 years na program, no? 5 years pa man to sa amo sa una. Di pwede, no? Kung mag-specialize ka, di pod pwede nga moingon ra ka nga kanira gid ako, dili ko motudloan ng machinery kay land and water man ko, di pod pwede. Pwede gihapon, no? But kung naay makatudlo, siya lang kaiyahan ng specialization. Kay para mawala po. Ang another goal ani sa PSABE and then the Board of Agriculture and Biosystems Engineering is that dili overlapping bitaw ang imong trabaho. Kaya there are some nga kanang gipatrabaho sa structures related, gipatrabaho sa machine, gipatrabaho sa land, no? Makutaw ang utok ni engineer ni ABE. So that's why specializations were established, no, kung asa gyud ka. But how to identify nga mangdiha gyud ka padulong? Okay. So the program also kanang ni-achieve pud ang program based sa kanang previous curriculum atong 2005 nga curriculum. The milestones, no, wala pa ni nadugangan kay pagka 2020 wala may board exam, no, kay nag pandemic. So now 2021, no, so let's pray. Let's help pray our bayaws, your atis and kuyas. They will be taking the board licensure exam on September 29 and 30 in Cagayan, Davao, Manila, Cebu. So we hope that they will also perform well. They will pass the board, and hopefully na mag-top, no? So they will be taking the board exam on 29 and 30. You help them pray nga makapasar sila and then mag-top sa board. Because based on the performance of the CSU, Agriculture and Biosystems Engineering, if makita ninyo sa screen, since 2010, so that was the pioneering batch, no? Mao tong gingon ako nga upat ka buok sila ni graduate. Upat po sila ni exam. Upat po sila ni pasar. So they garnered 100% passing rate compared sa national passing rate nga 45%. Meaning, kung naay nag-take nga 100 ka buok sa entire Philippines, 45 ray ni pasar. Apil na dito ang CSU, no? So sugod sa una nagkadaghan ang nag-take sa nga ABE na ag-eng nga mga students, no, nagkadako ang population, pero compared to civil, mechanical, electrical, electronics, medyo gamay pa ta, no, gamay pa nga ng population. Di pareha sa ilang nga tag 300,000 na sila kabuok, 400,000 kita is napata sa mga 10,000, I guess, no, nangamatay na ganitong uban, ng uban ng retired na, no. So apil pa na sa 10,000 ang katong mga panahon pa ni Monfort, panahon pa sa atong mga lolo, no, nangamatay na to sila nga mga ag-eng. So 2011 again 100% na pud ang CSU. So out of 6 nga nag-take ata ani 6 na to sila nagkadugang na 6 pud sila ni pasar, no? So ingana ka tremendous, ingana ka full up, ingana ka promising ang performance ni ABE sa CSU, no? So maulaw ta nga sa ato nga time madaot ang record, no? By 2012, this was the time nga 2011 that was the time I guess nga naay nag-top in 2011 100% ang ag-eng passer sa CSU nag-top 3 pagyud in the name of Karil Bahao, no, Bachinet siya. So she is now working in the Development Bank of the Philippines, no. She topped the board in the year 2011. She was the first top-notcher of ABE in CSU, no? So that was 2011, no? Nindot kayo, promising kayo ang performance, 100 na gani sila percent, top pag yun. So gigrasyahan pag sa Ginoo. Pagka 2012 wala na nag 100%, but at least still higher than the national passing rate, 85.71. Again 2013 60. So the best thing is that dapat mas taas ang passing rate ni CSU compared sa national. And then you can really say that you are still performing well, no? Until 2014, no, 50%, then during our time, 2015, 2016, 2017, 18, and then pagka 2018, nag-top na po tag 7, no? Top 7 si Sir Art, Engineer Art Dalman, no? So, that's how, since the start, the performance of ABE in CSU, 2010 to 2019. So, diha gid nagsugod ang tanan nga grabe ang performance, no? So, hopefully, nga kanang 2021 nato, wala may 2020, okay pud ang performance. Okay? So, usually tag 37% ra national, tag 40%, meaning kung naay mo take nga 1,000 ka buok, example sa amo nga time, ang nag-take ato is 1,041 ka buok, and then sa amo nga time and then ang nagpasar kay 400 ra ka buok, meaning bagsak ang 600. Ang national passing rate is 40%, no? So that's how we see the performance of the board exam sa ABE CSU, no? Nga kanang dili siya basta-basta ba nga wala lang, wala nakapasar, wala tanan. So promising gid kaayo until now. And then we have really proved the performance nga dili lang yun ingon nga the program kanang aspire nga kanang mag-produce o graduates, but will really produce o top-notchers and passers, no? Because pag mo-graduate mo, the story does not end there, no? So dito pag sa board exam mag-end ang story kung unsa gid ang performance ni university. And then ABE program in CSU is one of the top performing programs, no? So mining, proven na gid ang mining, ang geodetic, ang even ang mga social work, no? Chemistry. So education. So I hope that you will add up to that, your spirit will add up to that na culture or tradition nga i-instill sa inyong mind na we are studying a program sa CSU nga kanang naay taas nga panglantaw, no? So dili pwede nga relax lang ta because it's not a pressure but it's a challenge na the program started from kanang kung sa tao pa murag rags to riches bali. And the program started from very bare and very nothing yun, wala pati mga books and everything. Now karon lucky na mo nga ingana na ang inyong naabtan, no? When it comes to faculty lineup, grabe na ang facilities, no? Ang teaching style, ang references, ang resources, it's all available. And then why sa una ni perform well, but karon wala na hinuon. So I hope nga inyo nang mabutang sa inyong mind na challenge, no? I challenge you to instill that in your mind nga we want to achieve more, even more than our seniors who achieved in the 2010 to 2021 nga performance sa board exam. Okay? So the program was originally offered as BS Agricultural Engineering in 2005 with a total of 27 enrolled students. So 27 to sila, ang ni-graduate pagka 2010, upat ra, no? So imagine that. So it's not a threat and it's not a pressure sa inyo, but it's a challenge that kaya nila, kaya nako, no? So that's the spirit, no? So that would be the spirit. So the milestones of the program, we are not just ABE as agricultural engineering program. We really participate in the national, regional, international, and whatever, no? Niabot na mi bisag asa competition, no? Matawag na gid ang engineering ABE sa CSU, no? So medyo makaingon ko nga we are known, we are visible, no? Dili man ta sikat kaayo, but we are visible, no? Kung maingon nga ABE sa Karaga na ana. So ingana siya ang kanang say pa visibility sa CSU nga ABE. All right? So aside from that, that's the program also conducted a lot multi-million na mga projects, research projects, no, conducted by the Faculty of Agriculture and Biosystems Engineering. So like in the year 2014, 15, 16, 17, no, na ay mga more than 50 million worth of research projects na naka-appeal ang faculty sa CSU, ay sa ABE sa CSU. And mga graduates po sa AGEng sa CSU na employed, no, mga research projects, no. And then they were paid like at least 60,000, 40,000 per month ang mga graduates na to due to that research programs. Okay, so that's the so far. So if you could see in the picture, this was the time. If you are familiar with the Philippine Society of Agricultural and Biosystems Engineers pre-professional group, right? Before, ang pre-professional group mag-start sa third year to fifth year, no? Now, I'm not sure if third year lang ba gihapon og fourth year or mag-start na sa second year. I don't know. I did not yet read the bylaws. So, ang PPG, it's a very fun experience nga maka-appeal kag PPG because you will really train emotionally, some even before physically and mentally nga matrain gid ka how to be a bayaws. And then you are not allowed to say bayaw or call bayaw kung dili pa ka accepted sa PPG, no. You have no right to tell me that I am your bayaw and you are my bayaw because you are not you have not undergone the training as part of the bayaws, no. So that's our culture, that's our tradition in the ABA. So and then part of that nag-appeal mig mga convention, regional and national conventions sa mga students. And then makadaog gid ta, always gid ta mo excel ana bisan pag pila ka universities ang kakompetensya nato sa Mindanao wide and national. We really excel, no. So in the 2014 champion ta, imagine that, champion ta sa entire Mindanao nga naay EBE programs held in General Santos City. Pagka 2015 first runner up ta, kadtong ang nag-host is Yusef Tagum, no. So I guess there are like how many universities in entire Mindanao, murag at least 20, 15 or I don't know nga naay EBE program. So imagine that nga mo excel gid ang CSU, meaning in terms of background sa mga students dili na gid siya basta-basta. Pagka 2016 champion na pud ta, no, as entire Mindanao, held in Bukidnon. So I hope that the culture and the tradition will continue sa inyo nga time nga now lang, tungod lang kay na-stop lang gid due to pandemic. So 2020, 2021 wala, inactive ang PPG. But in the near future, if we will go back to the normal, no. So I hope that the culture and the tradition of PPG will still be kanang continue, no, ma-sustain siya kay para dili ta mawala sa kanang climax nga maayo gid ang atong performance in the Mindanao and the national nga kan. Okay? So in the international stage, I was the coach in the year 2019 when we went to Polytechnic Cotabato in Malaysia. No, I was there, I was studying, and then I served as the coach of these 4 students who went there for a competition in the international stage. No, and then I was so amazed with the performance of these 4 students. No, they already graduated. So na-amazed gid ko ba kay the lack of trainings, the lack of resources, even ang ilang mga pamasahe, no, nangutang, nangayo, no, nag-solicit just to participate. And then out of the hundreds of participants or out of the hundreds of delegates in the international student competition, and then we won the gold and the special awards and the silver awards in the food product development. And then I was really amazed how these 4 students from the ABE program of CSU performed well during the said competition, no. And then I coached them, but I'm not claiming that I was the reason why they won, but I can claim that I was the witness, no, how they struggled and how they achieved that particular award, no. So we won the gold and special awards in that particular international competition, and then others participated in short course trainings or competitions in Singapore and Thailand. So I hope that you will also be part of that in the near future nga kanabang we are not just good academically, but we are good also in the extracurricular, which is also part of the targets of the program, no, students nga mga development. All right, so we are not just known regional, national or Mindanao level, but we also excel even in the international nga stage. All right, so I hope that you will really be part of that particular tradition. Okay, So in terms of faculty lineup, I know that you are familiar with this. These are also posted in the ABES nga Facebook page and then the ABE Facebook page. So sa una, as I have mentioned, isa lang gid ang nagtudlo nga ABE gid siya, nga agricultural engineer gid siya. And then the rest ng mga kaubanan niya kay mining, metallurgical, chemical, and then imagine that. But due to the law, niingon ang balaod, no, the Agricultural and Biosystems Engineering Law in the Philippines, no one should teach agricultural engineering students or agricultural and biosystems engineering students except licensed ABE. No? So the Caraga State University complied with the law. So si CSU nangitag paagi nga mo hire gid og mga highly or mga competitive, promising and potential nga mga faculty members starting 2010, 10, 10, and 11, 12, and so on until now. So, grabe na kakompleto ang lineup, no? So, dili pwede nga magtudlo si mining kang EBE. Dili pwede magtudlo si geodetic kang EBE sa professional courses. So, dapat EBE ra gyud ang EBE. Ang engineering sciences, pwede ra na, no? Nga lahi-lahi nga engineer ang motudlo. But, kung mingon kay tag EBE na nga subject, EBE, dili pwede nga magtudloan ni kay EBE na si geodetic. No? Si geodetic ang geodetic, si EBE kang EBE. That's why we are now, I guess, 11 now in the department, no? So these are the faces of the faculty members of the department. Okay, so I will introduce to you them again, one by one, no? So we are young, no? We are young, but we can say that we are able and then we are capable of teaching professional and basic courses in the ABE, no? So malingingon nila nga bata pero abtik, no? So we are young, and then I will not tell you the ages, but I can share to you that at least we are in the age of 25 to 35. No, ingana pa ka mga bata ang mga professor or faculty sa ABE. All right, let's start. This is our picture taken during our photo shoot last year when the transition started, no? So before Ma'am Ana was the chairperson, and then when Ma'am Ana applied for scholarship and then pursue her PhD in the University of the Philippines, Los Baños. So I was then the new chairperson of the department. No, I just came that time after taking my master's degree from Malaysia. No, so pagbalik na ko, nagpuli ni Ma'am Ana. Then si Ma'am Ana nag-PhD and ako na po nagbalik as department chairperson. All right. So yours truly, I am now the chairperson of the ABE starting last year. And then I took my master's in Malaysia from 2018 to 2020. I just earned in 2020 June my master's and then come back to CSU by August 2020 and then designated as the new chairperson. No? But I earned my baccalaureate at Caraga State University taking agricultural engineering. All right. So my field of specialization is AB process engineering. No, when we say process engineering, it's more on the food, more on the post-harvest, more on the processing, food, feed, fiber processing, more on the warehouse structures, more on the preservation of foods, development of foods, production of foods, quality evaluation. No, so that's my specialization. No. So I'm a PRC license holder of the ABE with number 8490 and then still valid until 2022. So the PRC license will be renewed every 3 years from the time nga mo pasar ka sa board exam. And then every 3 years, imo na siyang i-renew. No? Kung hindi mo ma-renew, then you are not a valid professional. You are just registered, but you are not, you are just licensed, but you are not registered. That's why some will say registered and licensed engineer. Kung registered lang ka, registrado ka. No? Ay kung license lang ka, nakapasar ka sa board exam pero di ka registered. Why? Because your license is invalid. No, so that's the difference. That's why moingon nga ba registered and licensed. Kung moingon lag license, maybe wala siya na rehistro kay wala na rin yung iyang contract. Okay, so you already know me and then we will know each other more because you will enroll courses under my supervision or under my instruction. No, 106, 111, that's my expertise. Ma'am Ana is currently doing her PhD in agricultural and agricultural engineering at University of the Philippines, Los Baños. She's now in the 2nd year, and then the PhD will take at least 3 years. So by the next year, by the 2023, hopefully she will be graduating Doctor of Philosophy in Agricultural Engineering. And I hope that she will come back and then I will study also. Magbaylo lang mi. So Ma'am Ana is an assistant professor 3 with a valid PRC license, and she is specializing in Land and Water Resources and Technology. So she is specializing in the AB Land and Water Engineering. No, so she took her BS in CSU, Masters in USEP Tagum, and then now in the University of the Philippines for the Doctor of Philosophy in Agriculture Engineering. Mambel is my advisor. She was my advisor when I was still taking my bachelor's degree in CSU. So Mambel is currently taking Doctor of Engineering, major in Water Engineering from, at University of San Carlos in Cebu City. No? So she is an assistant professor, three, and then specializing also in Land and Water Resources Engineering and Technology. So they share the same specializations with Sir Arnold. No, si Sir Arnold is our center director. So when we say create center director, he is in charge of all the research projects nga ginakandak namo mga faculty. So naa dito ang mga projects namo, naa dito ang among mga usually murag dito ang among opisina para sa mga projects or research projects. Some students nga nagkandak og thesis during face-to-face, manto ko dito for analyzation of mga data, no, processing of data, and then somehow use of mga instruments. So that's how the center director acts. All right. So Sir Arnold also specializes in AB Land and Water Resources Engineering and Technology. So out of the 4 specializations, ang isa, AB Land and Water Resources, sila tulo ang nakasulod. Okay. So the next is Engineer Neil Tado. So Sir Tado, your instructor in, I guess, AB 100. Sir Neil is specializing in process engineering. The same with me. No, we share the same specialization, but Sir Neil is cognate in machinery and mechanization. No, so naga-study po siya og mga machinery or machine design and mechanization. So during his master's degree in UP Los Baños, ang major niya is bioprocessing or process engineering, but na siya mga subjects nga more on machinery and mechanization. So that's his cognate. Sir Neil is a graduate of Bachelor's and Master's sa University of the Philippines, Los Baños. And currently, nag-eskwela siya o Bachelor of Laws, no, kanang mahimong abogado, in Father Saturnino Orius University. Still currently nag-study siya na, no, as part-time niya nga pag-eskwela. Si Bayaw Sheila, Ma'am Peña is a new faculty member. She is a graduate of Masters of Science in Agricultural Engineering, major in Smart Agricultural Engineering from the South Korea Hankyong National University. But she obtained his bachelor's degree in Agricultural Engineering from University of Southeastern Philippines in Tagum City. No? So si Engineer Sheila is specializing in structures, remote sensing, and GIS. That's her specialization. All right. So Bayaw Sheila and Sir Jack, they share the same specialization in terms of structures and environment. So sila ang nagatudlo sa mga plant and livestock systems, AB structures design, and so on. So Sir Jack obtained his master's from Visayas State University in Baybay City, Leyte, and bachelor's in Caraga State University. So we share the same year ni Sir Jack sa una sa CSU. No? So nagkaabot-abot mi ni Sir Jack sa una sa CSU. All right. Next is si Mameros. Mameros is the same specialization with me, process engineering, no, mga food, feed, fiber, and then she obtained her master's from Visayas State University. Okay, so but she also obtained her bachelor's in Caraga State University. And Mameros, by the way, is the in charge of all the OGT students. No, ano mag-OGT na mo pagka 4th year, she is in charge of that. No, asa sila ma-assign, asa sila mag-OGT, kung sa ilang mga trabaho, roles, and functions. No, so Mameros. So Sir Aljun is a graduate of Agricultural Engineering also in Caraga State, but currently he is doing his master's in renewable energy sa Ateneo de Davao University. Si Ma'am Cindy is, we call it as adjunct, no? Adjunct meaning allied na faculty. So she is not an agricultural engineer by profession. She is mechanical, but because ABE is allied with mechanical, you know, refrigeration engineering, hydrodynamics, thermodynamics, and then heat transfer. So siya ang in charge ng mga subjects, no? So you will meet Ma'am Cindy when you reach 2nd year and then taking thermodynamics, heat transfer. So that's her expertise, no? Machine design and mechanical engineering. Okay, so that's Ma'am Cindy. And then we have architect. So si architect, he is now part of the Department of Civil Engineering. But before, architect is part of the ABE. Ano? So in terms of the structures na aspect, but he cannot teach structures because under the law, only agricultural and biosystems engineers can teach structures engineering sa EBE. So architect can teach in the civil. So he cannot teach, but he is a graduate of Master of Science in Architecture, no, and Bachelor of Science in Architecture from University of San Carlos. So na siya duha ka license. He is an architect by profession and he is also a master plumber by profession. So duha ang iyang PRC licenses. All right. So the mortality rate dirita. I hope that you will bear with this presentation na. Kung mingon tag mortality rate from the term mortal, no, mortality, no, murag pila ang porsyento sa nipasa ni graduate sa nag-enroll, no? For example, kamo karon, ang inyong population karon is 50, shall we say 55. Ang unom kay 61 man mo is transferee shifty. Kamo nga batch is 55, assuming ha 55 mo. Let's see 4 years from now, so 2021, 22, 22, 23, 23, 24, 24, 25. Tanaw na to pagka 2025, ipila ang nabilin sa 55, no? So sa una, start sa 2010, sa 20 kabuk nga nag-enroll, no, 5 ang ni-graduate, pero 4 ang nakatake sa board kaya ang isa na pa'y nabilin. Napa siya mga requirements nga nabilin, no? So mao na silang first batch. Imagine 5 divided by 20, gamay ra kayong porsyento. Then ang sunod is 4 ang ni-graduate on time sa 15, no? 8 ang ni-graduate sa 25, 6 sa 18, 5 sa 39, and then anyway, the trend is increasing. Kung makabantay mo, nagdako po ng porsyento, but sa enrollees, no, sa graduate, gamay ra. So I hope nga sa inyong batch in 2025, 4 years from now, nga sa 55, hopefully nga 40, 45 ang mo graduate, no? Ang problema lagi pagka second year kay mga shift naman dayon, mangundang naman dayon. So sa mag-enroll versus sa ni-graduate, gamay ra gyud, no? But I guess we obtained higher in the year. I cannot say so, but I guess this one, the batch 2018, no, sa katong ilang time na nang graduate. So ang nag-enroll ato sa ila pagin nga time 2018 nga batch nga nang graduate, 80 to sila di ay nga batch, pero ang ni-graduate is 38, but at least higher, no? Compare anang 2017 2018 nga 18 ang ni-graduate sa 84 nila nga graduate, no? Imagine that how the trend of mortality sa EBE. So we cannot say nga siguro lisod, but siguro it's on the student factor nga makapadayon gid siya sa iyang pag-eskwela. So I hope nga ang 2020 2025 ani nga graph magpakita na nga okay, mao to sila ang enrollees sa 2021. Pero 2024, 2025 sila ni graduate nga batch. Hopefully nga 60-55 versus or 65, 61, shall we say 60. 61 man mo karon apil ang shifties o transferee. So shall we say 60 ang ni-take sa inyong 2021 nga batch and then ang graduate sa inyo 50. No, so it's a higher percentage of mortality. Ay lower but higher of graduates, no? Gabay ang mortality. Okay? So that's again a challenge for you. Okay? So unsa di mga trabaho sir sa atong sa ABE sir? So pwede mo mahimong engineer gyud nga engineer gyud by profession, purely engineer. Businessman, mahimo kang project consultant, sales representative, kanang bitong mga business or mga companies na nagabaligyag mga machinery, mga tractor, mga mower, mga nagabaligya og mga rice reaper, nagabaligya og mga transplanter, kana nga mga machinery nga mga companies. Pwede ka mahimong sales rep diha, kay expert man ka in terms of that. Pwede pud ka mahimong farm manager, pwede pud ka mahimong city agricultural engineer, pwede pud ka mahimong municipal engineer, pwede ka mahimong provincial planner, pwede ka mahimong instructor or professor like us, no? So we are teaching in the academy. Pwede pud ka mag senior high, magtudlo ka under STEM track, pwede pud na. Pwede pud ka mag researcher, research analyst ka, and then you are paid higher, no? 40,000, 30,000, 50,000, and then pwede na. And then kung allied ka, pwede ka mahimong partner ni civil engineer, no? So I have one friend who is an agricultural and biosystems engineer by profession, but because na siya friend pod nga civil, nagpartner sila karon and then they are assigned sa kanang mga construction, sa kanang mga housing, sa kanang mga tulay or whatever, sa mga farm to market roads, and then pwede pod na siya. Pwede ka mahimo nga kanang consultant in between civil and engineering, agricultural engineering nga mga projects. But kung mayingon kag allied na, pwede pod nga sila na gyud na purely kat atong mga kapareho nga profession. For example, si electrical, si electronics, mo atong mga allied nga mga subjects or mga profession. Na po yung mga animal crop science, no, atong mga agriculturist, no, pwede po mo makipag-partner kung gusto mo magtukod mo consultancy firm, magtukod mo og kanang negosyo, pwede ra po na siya, no? But you cannot practice everything nga imo ging i-practice. Okay. Unsaon sir pagka EBE sir? How? Kanang mo take over exam sir? Okay. How to become a licensed and registered EBE? Para mahimo ka, you read the RA 10915. So your assignment will be to research in Google what is RA 10915. Later, I will discuss more on the assignment. According to the Article 1 of this law, of this act, an agricultural and biosystems engineer refers to a person who is registered and licensed. No? Kung may tag-licensed, kung may tag-registered, nakapasar siya sa board exam, narehistro siya sa Professional Regulation Commissions. But may tag-license, lisensyado siya because ang iyang license valid or na-renew. Posible po nga registered lang siya, pero di siya lisensyado. Why? Wala man niya na-renew yung license. So invalid yung license, di siya licensed. No? But registered. No, nga na that's why mo iba ang uban moingon na lang registered agricultural and biosystems engineer. No, ang uban mo moingon registered and licensed. All right. We are licensed and registered to practice ABE in the country who holds a valid certificate of registration and professional identification card from the Board of Agriculture and Biosystems Engineering and the PRC. So Article 3, Section 14 stipulates that before practicing the ABE profession, you shall be required to undergo and pass the licensure examination. No, dili ka pwede magbutang-butang engineer sa imong pangalan kung wala pa ka naka-graduate o wala pa ka naka-take over exam. Nakapasar, no? So naka-take man ko sir, pero makakapasar, so you are not allowed to, under Article 3 of Section 14 of the RA 10915, you are not allowed to use engineer as your profession if you have not passed the board exam. Nag-take lang ka, pero kakapasar. Pero nag-take ka nga nakapasar ka, and then you can use the engineer. So under Section 15, no, ang applicant, kinsa di pwede mo take, sir? First is citizen of the Philippines, no? Second, graduate of Bachelor of Science in Agriculture Engineering or Agriculture and Biosystems Engineering, and recognized by CHED ang imong university. So CSU is recognized by CHED. And then good moral character. So you can take the board exam. Una, Pinoy ka. Ang alien kanang mga foreigner, pwede po sila mo take as long as mga sila certification from the CHED. Ang ilang program nga na-take abroad is equivalent sa program, EBE program sa Pilipinas. Alright? So, citizen ka sa Pilipinas, Pinoy na Pinoy, graduate ka sa INIS identified or certified by the CHED University, and then good moral character. That's the process on how you become an engineer. And then Article 3, Section 18, what's the rating, sir? Para makapasar ko, sir. So, basically, naitulo ka area sa exam, Area 1, Area 2, or Area 3. So, tanang area, 100 items ang exam. Tanang area, dapat makascore ka og 70 higher. No? 70, 70, 70 kaya para mahimo ka ang engineer. So, the Board of Examination of Agriculture and Biosystems Engineers, a candidate must obtain a weighted general average of 70%, no? With no grades lower than 55% in any given subject. For example, sa Area 1, 100 items, ang imong nakuha is 54%, ang duha ka areas, nakakuha kag 90, 95, bagsak gyapon ka because lower than 55 man ang imong isa ka area. So dapat walay lower than 55. And then ang imong average is 70%. Alright? So bisan pa siguro 100 perfect nimo ang area 1, perfect nimong area 2, pero ang area 3 kay naglisod man ka 54% ra ang imong rating. And then you can not pass the board bisan pag imong average atong tulo is 70 or higher. Kay below man ka sa 55 sa isa ka area. Okay? So yung ana ang pamaagi sa pag-exam. And then sooner or later you will learn that on your during your board examinations, no? So this is the example of a licensed and registered ABE nga kanang valid PRC license of certificate of rating. So just disregard the face diha kay murag nasuko mo siguro na siya pag picture diha, no? So murag na naglagot na siya diha ba. So that's how the valid PRC license looks like, no? So naakaingana, I know you are familiar with this, maybe imong ate, imong kuya, mama, papa are bearing with the PRC license, no? So, ingana ang iyang naong. So, the left part, mao na siya ang mingunta nga, valid kay, registered ka, valid until 2022. But may expire gani na, wala nimo gi-renew, na you are not a licensed, valid license holder, no? So, this is the certificate of rating. This is after you you passed the board exam, padalhan ka ni PRC of certificate to inform you that you passed the board exam. And then there's whether you pass or fail, padalhan di ka. So makabutang diri dapat passed, no? So meaning sa tulo ka areas kad akong na-mention tanawa, area 1, area 2, and area 3, dapat passed ka diri sa tanan niya nga rating, walay below 55%. And then you can say that you are really an engineer by profession, agriculture and biosystems engineer. So that's how a licensed and registered EBE shall possess, bearing PRC, valid PRC license, and a certificate holder that you are a passer. For your assignment, and then I want you to read and read with this so that you can answer on our quiz next time. So our quiz will be, I don't know if it will be online. I will show the questions in the screen, and then you will answer, or it will be given in the LMS. It depends on my mood, no? But last time I just gave in the LMS. So you read this one, Republic Act number 10915. This is an act strengthening, modernizing, and aligning the practice of agricultural engineering in the country into the internationally recognized practice of agricultural and biosystems engineering and for other purposes. So you can research this, and then you just type RA10915 in the Google, and then it will show the PDF, and then you read, no? Basahan niyo from section 1 to from article 1 to article 4 or 5, and then we will have a quiz, and then somehow I will ask randomly next week before our formal lecture to have a recitation about the law. All right, so that's your assignment. Okay, so I guess that's all for our topic this week, and I hope that you learn a lot from my presentation. So is there any questions? Questions from my presentation? Wala? Is my presentation clear?
Yes, sir.
Nasabtan
Yes,
na?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes
So,
po, sir.
Yes, sir.
pas-pas
Yes,
ta
sir.
kay, for example, 10:17 na dayon, no? So ingana ta ka lack of time kay 1 hour man kay 1 unit. But anyway, as long as kuan na to ang atong lecture, ma-deliver na to well, no? So that's the most important thing. Question about the presentation. Wala pang tana? Ay mga tana. Sige na, mga tana na. About the assignment. About the assignment.
Yes, sir.
Sige, mapa. Question. Mapa, langway.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, kanang mag-ask lang mi sir if kanang ibutang nimo ang PPT sa LMS, sir.
Yeah,
Kanang karon
akong
bitang ang
ibutang.
PPT, sir.
Ibutang na ko.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
sir.
Even
Alright,
the recording. And I guess the recording for the last week,
Thank you,
ako nang
sir.
nabutang. I don't know, I'm not sure ha. Pero murag, nagbutang na ko lecture material.
Yes, sir.
Sir, nabutang.
Naana dito, sir.
Okay, nana. Sige. Ay, akong ibutang
Thank you,
tanan.
sir.
But the law, you can just research the law sa Google, and then mugawas na siya RE10915, and then you read that, and then we will have our oral recitation next week, and then a quiz pod, part of the law, so that you will familiarize the law. Mga tana. Other questions?
None so far na, sir.
Wala na? Okay, so if no other questions, and then we will now end the lecture, and then we will see next week, same time. Maybe we can start earlier kung wala mo klase sa inyong previous nga time schedule. Like we can start by 8:45 or 8:50 so that dili ta moabot og 9 biyan or 10 biyan. No? So you read, based on the instructions, and then you submit your assignment one, which is the getting to know with each other, and then you read, and then we will have a quiz or oral recitation. So do not be pressured with the requirements. It's just part of the training. So that's always my stand. So ayaw lang, relax lang, no? Dili kay mind na yun. So just enjoy the requirements, no? Basa lang good, no need to memorize and everything. Just read. And then ang kuan pod ang assignment. So submit lang based on your capacity. Questions with the assignment and then with the lecture or with the getting to know with each other na requirement. Wala so far? Langway. Nag-raise kagahan. Wala.
Ma'am, ang question kagaina, by the way, sir, is the same lang kang map.
Okay. Others, wala na? All right. So if there's no other questions, so that's all. Okay. The Luis?
By the, about sa picture sa katong sa kitinto no sir, unsa man sana siya nga kuan sir.
No. It's up to you because the requirement one, getting to know each other is just a freestyle, no? So meaning it's up to you if you will put a picture of yourself, looks like an engineer or not. It depends on you. Okay, so the more, no, the better output, so the higher na marks ang madawat. So it depends on you. How will you attack your requirement? So,
By the way, sir, na I need the
Kuan sir.
sponsor.
sorry. Unsa, Judy boy? Naay? Nay unsa?
No deadline, sir.
I guess na deadline nakabutang no. Na kuan ang una nag-submit. September 29 is the deadline. And today is September
Okay, sir. Thank you po.
September 15 ang deadline. September 15 today, so you still have 2 weeks. 2 weeks to prepare. All right? So that's all, guys. Thank you for your time, and then see you next week. Stay safe. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir. Goodbye.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Stay safe.
Thank you, sir. God bless po.
Start na tayo.
Thank you. Ay,
Start na tagkoan.
Sige na. Una, Mortola.
Memorize sa program educational objectives o college goals.
Sige, una, Mortola.
Bye.